Hey everybody! The other night when I was ordering some stuff on Amazon, I ended up ordering this because who doesn't need a flame atmosphere speaker? And there's nothing better than having an atmosphere full of flames while you listen to music. It's a LED flame Bluetooth speaker, battery powered, of course, IP65 rated. Here's the specs. It uses Bluetooth 4.2, decent audio specs for Bluetooth, a 2000 milliamp hour battery pack, 7.2 volt. Speaker says it's 5 watt, and it has, what did they say, about 10 meters, about 30 foot. So curious to see how this works with the phone and how it works internally. I'm not sure how to pronounce the company name. I think it might be Dikaou. I'm going to go with that for now. If you have a way to tell me how to pronounce that properly, stick it in the comments. So first off, let's open up the packaging. Well packed. Some nice foam. I like that. I'll actually save this. These are handy for when you need to set something that's round on the bottom on your bench. It can kind of cup it in there. It's nice. There is a charging cable, which I have already actually opened up. I pulled this out already just to make sure it was charged so we could look at it for the video. But it comes with a micro USB charging cable. It's not very thick, but you know, you're just charging that little battery, so it'll be fine. Then the speaker itself is in here. Now before we pop that out of the bag, we must check the rest of the contents, and that would be a warranty card, so we can get in touch with them if I have any problems with the flames not flaming properly. And they say they'll get back to you in about 12 hours, so that's good to know. And they give us some information on how they handle their warranty system, and that's pretty good actually. That's smart to include. Then, let's see, the quick user's guide. 90% of customers found this guide helpful. Okay, how to contact us. And then, oh, hey, if you want free beauty products, such as wireless speakers, laptop locks, ambient lights, and humidifier, they always help with your beauty. So get in touch with them. There's their Facebook number, and here's their YouTube channel. We'll give them a little plug. See if I can scan that QR if you want. If not, I imagine you could just search for Dikaou and you'll find their channel. Then we have the manual. LED flame atmosphere lamp wireless speaker user manual. LED light mode, just on and off. So unlike a lot of the flame bulbs you can put in your lamp, they have the 3 modes. This only has one, on and off. Then for the Bluetooth, you long press the power button. It works a lot like most Bluetooth things, but you hold it for about 2 seconds, turns it on or off. Then you'll see the blue light flashing fast when it's looking to be paired. The plus sign on the speaker is next song and volume, and the minus sign is previous and volume down. So what is it? Quick press to go back a song, long press to affect the volume. That's pretty cool. And then it says when it reaches the bottom, you'll hear a little sound that says DD. So we'll have to see if we can hear it say DD. Then there's the play and pause key. You know what that does. And then the most fascinating feature I saw is the fact that it actually has a tripod mount on the bottom. So, you know, hook it on your GoPro stand. Hook it, you could like mount this thing anywhere really if you wanted to. Now you have to buy that separately. It doesn't come with it, but it's a standard, what is that, 1/4 20? Just a tripod thread, so, you know. Then we are at the power specs. These are the same as what we saw on the back. They show you where to charge it. And then we have some troubleshooting before it goes to a different language that I am not going to read. And let's see here. Please don't charge the lamp if it's between 0 and negative 40 C. Wait, is that 0 to 40 C or 0 to negative 40 C? We'll go with negative 40 C. Let's see here. Don't recommend for charging while using the LED flame speaker. That makes sense. That would put a load on the charger and it would probably take a really long time to charge. Then they want you to unhook it. So there might not be a charge controller, but we'll check. Don't charge it where it's very humid. And don't put it outside when it's raining. Fair enough. And here's that contact info again if you want to pause that and save that for yourself. So that's the manual. That's the box with another piece of foam. And now we'll get to the speaker. So we'll take the plastic off and there we go. The incredible Bluetooth flame egg. It's very well made. It's very strong feeling, very solid. It's good. Feels like ABS, thick ABS too. It's not. I thought maybe it was, I don't know, hollow in the back, and in the center it is. But this is pretty strong. If I drop this, it would be fine. There's the tripod mount right there. It's got the 1/4 thread. And then it has this plastic, which I did peel a little bit back. It's got that like anti-skid stuff on it, which is pretty cool. There's the speaker in there. They have like a that cone, I guess, I'll disperse the sound. And I like they have it's very strong, high quality plastic. You know, I second guessed myself when I bought it, you know, the next day, but after, you know, seeing it and holding it, it's, you know, it's built well. The controls are right there. This is that soft rubber right on top. It's you know, power button for the light, and then power button for the Bluetooth, and then the plus and minus and play pause. Let's turn on the light first. Let's see how the flame light works, and we'll check the Bluetooth. I'll show you how to pair it. And then I want to take it apart and see how they do all this. That's kind of the point of all this anyway. So let me turn off that light, and we'll turn off that one for now. I had to bring the exposure up so you could actually see. So let's turn it on, and there we are. It's probably, like most of the screw-in type, it's probably a sheet with groups of LEDs soldered to it, and then it, you know, cycles through. Because what I can kind of see, I see 2 or maybe 3, at least 2 together. There's probably groups of 2 for each stage of the flame, and then I see it cycling through. So that'll be interesting to see. And unlike the screw-in ones, this is the only mode. It's either off or that cycling flame effect. Even a long press. I tried long press. I tried double press, like real quick. I even tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know some controllers use that, but it seems like it's just on and off. And that's fine. You know, it's surprisingly bright. In the dark, it throws off a definite flame-like effect on the walls. And if you're not, you know, right up close against it, it does kind of look like there's a flame in there. So, you know, that's kind of cool. I don't know if I can, I'm going to see if we can measure the current. I'm not sure how long this will run. They say it's a 2000 milliamp hour, 7.4 volt battery. And if it's just running these, we might be able to get an idea of how long it would run for. Throw the Bluetooth in, and, you know, that all changes depending on if it's playing sound or not. But you can see I can sit it there, And let me see if I can lower the exposure a little, and then you can see. Let's see, here we are, exposure. We'll simulate it being dark in here. There you go. So you can see it throws off a reasonable amount of light. You can see the LEDs a little bit better there too. But we'll open it up after we check the Bluetooth, and then we can see everything a lot easier. To Bluetooth pair it, get my phone. Okay, we got the Bluetooth, and long press the power for about 2 seconds. We heard a little beep. Now it should be searching. Let's see, scan. Then it's doing the flash. And there it is. So we'll hit that, pairing. And there we go, connected for audio. So now we should be able to hear some sound through it. So let's go to, let's see, what won't I get in trouble for? Oh, my music, my stuff. Let's, here, I'll play part of my BenQ.
And we're back to look more at this W1070 here.
And volume control works from the phone.
I'm positive the color wheel is
or
okay. On the first video, we measured
long press
resistance and did some preliminary.
See, it goes all the way down, and then.
And this projector has a more unusual.
Oh, it did the noise.
It has a bad main board.
Let's hear if it does the down noise. It goes deet deet. No? Not yet? Oh, it's probably doing it, but since the volume's down, we can't hear it. Good job, Frank.
Low voltage.
Let's try this way. Hey, there we go.
These to make sure.
Alright, and that's pause. And just to show you, you can turn the lights on. So one thing I might do with this, one of the reasons I kind of wanted it, was for Halloween sounds. Because you could put this outside. Here, we'll turn that off, give it a little ambience. And it throws the audio pretty. Somebody playing with a theremin. But you get the idea. Let me jump forward a little bit. Here we are, some more Halloween noises, some outdoor creepiness. And we'll pause that. So you get the idea. So it's real easy to set up. The sound's good. It's, you know, for all the things that it's supposed to be, it does them quite well. The fact that it does them all together is definitely new to me. I have, you know, Bluetooth speakers. I have flame lamps, but I don't have a Bluetooth flame lamp. Now I do. At least for a little while, because we're going to take it apart now. I adjusted the exposure a little bit, so hopefully this is easier to see. I found 2 screws so far. There's one here, and there's one on the other side. I also found what I believe to be more screws on the inside. Their screws look like they're going through that way to hold the bottom one, because I was thinking maybe I'd have to peel this pad back, but that doesn't seem to be the case. These 2 seem to be the first ones we want to remove. So let's pop that one out, and let me get a thing to put the screws in. There we go. And let's get this one. And these are just little short, stubby, you know, just little screws. It doesn't look like they're holding much. I do see a thread in there, so this is a separate, it's not like a big chunk. I'm guessing this is a shell. Also, when I look in here, it looks like this entire outer piece might turn, because why would you have this much of a gap next to the connector? I would think that that would be there because this needs to turn and it might unlock. I'm purely guessing here that there's like teeth that it's grabbing and that they'll unlatch. So let's see, before I ruin everything. Maybe it just comes up. I'm trying to turn. Maybe I just need to pull. I mean, I see a gap now. I don't know if that means anything. See, there's a clip somewhere. Or it's just clips and I just need to give it a good, let's see. Yep. Okay. So it's just clips. Of course, I'm going to chew up the plastic a little bit because I don't have my spudger here at the moment, but that's fine. There we go. So it snaps together. There's a little clip. And there's a little clip. There we go. So, ta-da! Opens up. And that's pretty decent construction so far. I wonder why that notch is so large. I wonder if they thought about having a different type of connector. Or, I don't know. Why would you do that? Sometimes I look at this stuff and it kind of looks like maybe it was built using parts originally intended for something else. Or, you know, they have multiple variations of the same thing, which is, you know, far from uncommon. Most companies who sell more than one product will, or have variants of a product, will do that because, you know, why make multiple sets of parts when you can just make a few parts to make the other parts different from each other once it's finally assembled. So taking those screws out releases the, I don't know, the horn reflector for the speaker, for the driver. It sits there and makes the sound go out and fill our ears with joy. Then the button assembly comes off. There's the rubber bit and the housing. Let's see if I can find where I poke the screwdriver through. There it is. So it's just a little hole, it's not a big deal. It'll work fine. So I'll set this off to the side and we'll put the little horn off to the side. I'm going to leave the keyboard connected. Oh wow, that's washed out. Alright, sorry for it being so washed out. I'm trying new lights and new light configurations. I'm still trying to learn this camera. It's a Canon Vixia HFR 800, so we'll see. I still like my phone better, but I don't like overheating my phone. But anyway, they have the boards marked. We have, it says light right there. It turns the candle on. And then we have all the Bluetooth stuff right there. Nice flex cable going over, and we have test points on the back. I don't know if y'all could see that, but yeah, there's the test points. So next, let's get into the guts, the real guts. We have to take, I think, this piece off, and then the speaker may have some screws in it. And then after that, we should be into the real meat and potatoes of it all. The meat and taters. Okay, last screw is out. let's see what happens when we give this a little tug. Okay, so the speaker's coming up with this piece. There's the Bluetooth board. Let's unplug the speaker. I'm just going to peel that. It was sticking to there. Let's get that control free. And it has a 5-watt 4-ohm speaker, just like the box claims. Whether they're pumping 5 watts into it's to be determined, but it's a 5-watt speaker, and it's an aluminum cone, it feels like. Yeah. It's not a bad driver. I wouldn't mind seeing a couple of these in a a nice wood cabinet. I'm not a fan of plastic cabinets, but obviously for this you need to do that. So let's put our 4-ohm 5-watt driver out of the way. And let's see now. Okay, this is the charging wire, and this is to the battery pack. I'm going to unplug the battery pack because I do want to unhook the control board, and I'm sure it would be fine to unhook it with the power still attached, but just in case it's not, just be safe. I don't want to blow it up. So we'll pop that out and we'll set that keyboard off to the side, because after we look at the board I want to see the battery. And here's the board itself. Let's spin it around so you can see it from a normal view. There's our Bluetooth antenna, obviously. That's our power for the battery. Plugs in there. That's the wire for the USB charge. It wouldn't be too unheard of to put a Type-C connector in there. Think about it. They do have things marked. That pin says ground, that one says 5 volts. Same here. The connector for the keyboard is not marked, but I'm not surprised. We have a power supply here. Got a guessing that's a 4.7 microhenry. Let's see, then we have an EEPROM right there. Ooh, another video. Then we have our Bluetooth controller and probably main controller for the system. It's probably the radio and the controller all together. Would make sense. I can't quite see the part number. Alright, I'm doing this the hard way. Alright, so the chip is an AS19AP 10750-5B4 with a JL logo on it. It seems like that probably is the, that's the main controller for everything. Then there's also an EEPROM. And I do enjoy EEPROMs. I get ecstatic about EEPROMs. My wife's so lucky. She married a guy that gets excited about EEPROMs. Alexa, cancel!
What'd she say?
I don't know. Something about a species of bird. She totally misheard me. Alright, and then this chip over here is not an EEPROM like I thought. This chip goes, I think it's something for power, actually. It might be a power control chip, because I do see it going over to these guys over here. Oh, that's probably the amplifier, actually. Scratch all that. That's probably the amplifier, because it's going through these, coming out, there's this pin 5, and it looks like pin 4 are both going through 2 inductors to the speaker output. So that's our amp chip right there. So if I can look that up at some point, I did get a picture of it, which is how I learned it wasn't an EEPROM. It says 80, maybe 85. No. Let's see. HT8691 maybe? We'll see if we can find that. HT8691, I think that's it. So if I look that up and know what it is, I'll put a thing up here so you can see. But as of filming this, I have no clue what it is aside from it being an amplifier. But if that's pushing 5 watts, I'd be really surprised. It might be, you know, but I kind of doubt it. It looks like it might be, I don't know, 1 watt maybe. It's hard to say, but I doubt it's 5 watts. Maybe peak to peak 5 watts, but no way 5 watts RMS. I'll be surprised if it is. So that's really all the board has. The power comes in here, you know, to be charged. And whatever U1 is, I'm guessing that's the charge controller. See, it goes to this inductor, goes to the capacitor. It's curious that the battery, yeah, the battery's actually marked 3.7 volts. I wonder if this is just one 18650 and not two, you know, flat pack batteries. Just trying to see if there's anything else that can tell us. That's probably the charge controller. It's probably one of those, I forget the name, but it's a common one, like the little Adafruit charger, lithium charger boards use them and stuff. Like everything uses them. But anyway, let's pop the board out now and see what kind of battery there is. I have not been this far into it yet. I think I'm going to go on record right now saying that it's a 18650 without charge protection, without a little charge protection board, and not really 2000 milliamp hour, but maybe we'll see. We'll look it up, and I actually have a thing for, you know, one of those battery testing things that'll tell you what the capacity is. Alright, so the screws are out. Oh, no they're not. The screws are almost out. My hand is in the way. Alright, we'll get that last screw out. And now we can lift the board up. Oh, okay. And then the flame thing is connected to it. That makes sense. Nope, and here's our battery. We'll look at the battery first before we get back into this. Okay, so that's actually kind of cool. It's a pair of 18650s, and allegedly this is rated at 3600 milliamp hour. So these are probably, you know, 2000 a piece. They're rating them. So they're probably on, well, 1900, but, you know. But it's curious, they say it's 3.7 instead of 7.4. I wonder if they are in series or parallel. Let's get the meter. I gotta say, so far I'm relatively impressed with this thing. It's, you know, like I said, it's an interesting device, but it's built very well, and so far everything they're claiming, aside from the battery voltage, is what it is. So let's see, I'm gonna just kind of cram these, well, here, we'll do it the easy way. I'm gonna plug it back in so that I can get the probes on here to read it. Well, at the connector, we get, what was that, 4.2 when it's fully charged. I use it for a little bit. So that's what this is. They have a pair of 18650s in parallel, and then you just charge them up, and that's pretty dang efficient, I gotta say. It's a good way of doing it. It will... Oh, I see something else too. I just realized this. It's a smart way of doing it, you know, so it's a good form factor to package them this way. I was looking at these and I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on. This even further reinforces my belief that this device is meant to be a bunch of different things. It's not just, you know, these parts probably get used in multiple devices. Get this the right, oh, popped out. These get screwed into the board. I'm going to put that back together. Oh, actually we have some test points in there. You can see those. It says ground, wait, no. GWD1, DP, and DW. So DP and DW. I know DP, but I don't know DW. Digital waveform? What are you talking about?
I know what you were talking about. Dirty boy joke.
Digital waveform, dear.
EP.
Or digital pulse. Alright, so I put those screws back in to hold the battery pack in place. I like how this is just one module. That's smart manufacturing. I am pretty sure that if we were to go to the factory, we would see all sorts of variations of this inside of different, you know, enclosures. You'd have, you know, a summertime one maybe that like wicker or silver, and you know, and then you have the Halloween one like this, which is cool. So I like that. It's just one module. You know, I could 3D print something and put this inside of it, but you know, I'm going to keep this all together. This thing's neat. And we can see how it all hooks together. The we can even, well, let me do this. These are fun. I like these videos. I know they're not really as useful as my projector videos, but I do have fun doing these. Of course, I'll put a link if you want to play around with one of these too. Alright, so that's plugged in, and let's see, there we are. Let's see how the candles, or how the flame runs. So the bottom looks like they pulse the bottom, and then it goes like that. That's kind of cool. There's one of the control ICs. TG, ground, and 3.7. What do we have here? Ground. You want to have that extra oh, this is probably more for physical connection, but also it'll keep everything more even. The brightness more even. And let's see, they have 292, so 2.9K resistors on each group, or is that just 2, 1, 2, 3? Okay. So these all might be just loading the, using the current themselves, like regulating themselves, and then these need the resistors. Oh, this is interesting. Up here we can see, turn this off for a moment. Yeah, see this material here? This whole thing was made in 2017, November of 2017. Yet this thing was released now, and this board, the blue board, is April of 2018. See, the control board on top is May of 2017. Is there any marks in the plastic? Sometimes they'll have mold marks in the plastic. I don't see any. So this thing's been around in its different forms for a bit. I'm glad I finally found it. They got a little nub down the bottom there that the battery sits in, and then that keeps it all from rattling around, I guess, if you drop it. So I'm going to set that back in because I think we'll try and see what kind of power this thing draws from the battery. Maybe we can, you know, figure out what the battery consumption might be, how long it'll last. So let's see, how do I want to do this? Well, measuring the charge current will be easy. I can just use my USB measurer for that. But I want to see what this is using. So let's see. Let me put a couple screws back in. All right, I'm actually going to pause the camera and get this experiment set up. All right, so I got my USB thing. Let's plug that in and let's see what sort of power the charge draws. Okay, so right now this is outputting 5.7 volts. I don't know if you can see that. Or 5.2 volt, no, wait, 5.12 volts. I don't think that's showing up. And it's drawing about 360 milliamps. So it's not drawing a ton of power. So let's see, 3,600 milliamp hour, 360 milliamps. That'd take quite a while to charge up. From a dead, you know, from a totally dead charge. But it would, I mean, you know, you plug it in at night, be fine by the morning. So next, let's see if we can figure out how much power this thing draws while the light is on. So I will unplug the battery and let's pop the negative side out. Do this without shorting it out. There we go. And then we'll plug the positive back in, and let's bring the meter over so you can actually see it. Alright, so standby is... Okay, yeah, so standby is 40 milliamps maybe. Let's make sure. I'll go into manual mode. Oh, that's even less. So that's what? 40 microamps, 50 microamps? That's almost nothing. I mean, it's something, but not much at all. Let's now... that go in there? Alright. Leave that there so we have power. And we'll start hitting some buttons. First, let's turn the LEDs on. Let's get back to auto range. We'll just go to 600, the 600 range, and see. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so let's do min-max. Alright, so our max was 106 milliamps. And our min obviously was 0. I'm gonna do that again. Average is about 33, 34 right now. We'll let that sit for a little bit and run and let it figure out the average current draw with the LEDs running. All right, I can't sit here and watch this for much longer, so we're just going to say it's about 55, say 60 milliamps, because now it's jumping all over the place. This is just min-max recording. So let's see, our max is 115. Our min obviously is 0. Our average, yeah, see, we're still creeping up a little. So we'll just go with 60 milliamps. That's, I think, fine. Then, as my finger falls asleep, I'm actually going to let me put an alligator clip on here. Okay, this makes it way easier. So let's see that again. Now we have the bottom on. That's good. Let's turn on the Bluetooth. Just the Bluetooth. And let's see, it's standby current. While it's, let's see, is it paired to my phone? Yes, it's on my phone. So, oh, that's interesting. I pulled it up on my phone and I saw the power jump, so it must be talking to it. I just selected it. Yeah, so I must be waking its radio up when I do that. Let's see, I'll turn off the audio from my phone. We'll see. Yeah, check that out. It's kind of going into a low power standby. So when that, is there a light flashing I saw? Yeah, okay. So these are on. And when they're on, it draws about 35 milliamps. And turn the audio back on. So when the amp's running, it draws getting closer to 100 milliamps. Now again, let's find something I can run through it that we can get some sound, and then we can see what kind of current it draws, and then we can wrap this up. We'll go to my most recent BenQ.
Hey everybody.
That's me.
Back to repairing this BenQ W1070.
That's volume all the way up.
I took through troubleshooting the HDMI power supply. Checked.
Doesn't throw sound as far without that cone on top.
That the IC was good.
Oh, what did I do? Oh, I bumped the power cord. My little thing got loose. We lost power. Let's turn it back on. Alright. So then we'll get the sound again. Get the sound going. There we go.
Chip that both ports feed into.
And now let's turn on the light in the middle too.
About $4. And put it in.
And let's see what we got here. I'm going to put my hand over that.
Unfortunately, the chip had some bent pins on it, so I had to actually do it by hand instead of using my hot air station. So that was kind of tough.
Okay, so now let's see what the min-max is giving us. So it's giving us a max of 240 milliamps and a min, again, of 0, which makes sense. So without the light on, let it run some.
Benefits of working on
some more sound.
You run across all kinds of lenses, so having this in front of me made it a lot easier to do by hand. I think this is.
And then, so we're averaging again about 60. So this would probably run quite a while. You know, quite a while. That would be. It's running about a 1/4 amp at that, so if it's pulling a, yeah, you could easily get, 5 or 6 hours out of it for a barbecue or for your Halloween. In this case, this would be really cool for having for sound effects. I actually kind of I'm glad I have it now. I was second guessing myself at first, but now that I've gone through and pulled it all apart and shared it with you all, I think this will be perfect for Halloween. So we're gonna put it back together before I recharge everything. So unplug that, get that out of the way. Need to fix my battery wire, and then put the screws back in. Yeah, put those back there. Got our screws. And please, people, don't be offended if I fast forward this part. Add it up, add it up. Gary Cat.
Luigi's bossing him around.
Who is?
Luigi's following him around and
Bossing him?
Gary's hissing at him. And
You know why?
Won't leave him alone.
You know why?
Why?
You.
What?
They're fighting over you. Or Louie's fighting over you.
Nobody's ever going to replace you, baby.
But that's what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Louis sees Gary with you and he's like, no, that's my mom.
You're alright, baby.
Oh my god, Louis pulling a Justin.
Frankie. Not.
I'm sorry. I had to.
I'm sorry, I could see you.
A little bit I am.
You're so proud of yourself.
I'd only say it to you.
I know. Don't worry, baby.
I worry.
So Justin ended up taking their offer, though.
Of course he did. Because your mom told him. And she said, Dave, let me just tell him. It'll be easier.
I know, and he loves her. Just
He's
wants
like,
to
alright.
enjoy herself.
Yeah. He just wants to go on the damn trip and hang out with his wife.
Right, and like for once not have something awful
Yeah.
happen.
Instead of having to put up with her almost 40-year-old son who, for whatever reason, doesn't respect him. Even though he's been really good to her.
They got poor things, whatever.
Yeah, but it was all, it's in the past. Move on.
I know. Believe me, if anybody knows you and I know.
Yeah. Oh, I still haven't quite forgiven him what he did to you.
It's alright, baby.
I know. But,
You're not recording, are you?
no.
Okay.
I'm going to put this back together first and start it back up.
Ta-da!
Yeah, magic.
You should put Larry on screen and use his little kitty.
I don't want to exploit my kitty.
Frankie, I love you so much. You couldn't have said anything sexier.
When I saw the Gary subreddit that wasn't Gary, I was like, man, why would somebody do that to their poor cat? They just like their piddly beans.
Right? Just enjoy them. I took a great picture of Luigi's piddly beans. They had like one bean right in front.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like bam, right in your face.
And which cat was he picking on?
None of them. He was sitting on the couch like a dum-dum.
Oh, so he was going to pick on Wheezy.
Frankie, she was asleep. Luigi just wants to play, but the other cats don't get it yet.
I don't know if that's play. Swiping at Gary was not play.
No. And they going after Larry and being like, fight me, dude.
Well, that I'm okay with. I've got to toughen Larry up a little. He's got to remember his roots.
I don't want to. I want him to stay sweet and soft and stupid.
He will be. He'll just get beaten up by Louie.
No. You have to protect him.
He'll knock his teeth out.
Frankie, love.
And then save us some money.
Frankie, you all got me. You had me for a little bit there.
No, you're safe.
Am
Yep,
I though?
I hope so. Because if you're not, I'm in trouble.
Aw, Frankie, that's not true.
I think so. Alright, I'm going to start back up.
Okay, I'm touching.
And action. And then with the magic of TV or cameras or whatever the heck you call this, I have all the other screws back in. And we're going to snap the top back on. In that spot where, there we go. Yeah, so it's like that. So we get it lined up and then, oops, I turned it on. And pushed it back down. I didn't hear anything click, which is a little disheartening. I was hoping it was going to go click, click, click. So put that screw back in. Put the other screw back in, and then the device is no worse for wear. A couple little chew marks here and there while I figured out how to open it, but it is happily functional and ready for entertaining our soon-to-be Halloween guests. So there we go. This is the Dikaou Bluetooth flame atmosphere light thing. My only critique is that it needs a charger output so you can plug your phone in and charge your phone off it. Because with a 3600 milliamp hour battery, you don't need that for this thing. Put a smaller battery in or put a USB port so you can charge your phone, because that would be cool. So anyway, as always, thank you for watching.